name is Olasode Oladapo, and I'm both excited and humbled to bring you this magical moment of inspiration. We've been having a beautiful time since the beginning of this journey, and I trust that by now you are a step closer to your greatness than when we began. Our focus today is treasures and their role in your greatness. Treasures are important because of their function and their value. They may be information, material possession, and immaterial possession. Our relationships with treasures can further aid our journey to greatness or cut it short. This leads me to an all-important question I want you to think about before you answer. What do you treasure? This question is important because your greatness is largely determined by the answer to that question. I ask again, what do you treasure? How? How does your treasure determine your greatness, you may ask me? Allow me to explain. It's because your treasure, what you treasure, determines your values and influences your actions. Let me say that again. What you treasure tells me what your values are and influences your actions. And your values and your actions ultimately determine your greatness. Treasure also determines how you utilize your resources. I know what you treasure by what you spend time on, by what you spend money on, and by the relationships you grow. The things you spend time and money on, they are like seeds that you water. They would eventually become a big fruit. So I know your treasure by what you spend your time on and by what you spend your money on and your resources. Treasure also produces fulfillment. And believe me, if there is no fulfillment in your journey, you most likely will not end up at greatness. So you see why the question, what do you treasure, is important, and why this week you need to answer the question, what do you treasure, before you move forward. Having said that much, it's important to note that there are treasures that produce greatness and there are treasures that hinder greatness. It means that there are things you treasure that will produce greatness in you, that will further aid your journey to greatness. And there are also things you treasure that will slow down your journey to greatness. Many people are not great today, not because they don't have potential, not because they don't have capacity, not because they don't have, but because they treasure the wrong things. And their journey to greatness is terribly slowed down. Therefore, it's important to do personal introspection, to look inwards, so as to, one, determine your treasure. An understanding of what you treasure is an important factor on your journey to greatness. It will be terrible to treasure the things that hinder your greatness and not be aware of it. It's important to also examine your treasures. Having found out what I treasure, important to say, okay, what do I treasure? You write it down. Then having found out what you treasure, it's important to ask yourself this question. Does my treasure move me forward on my journey to greatness? It's also important to ask this question. What do great people treasure? What do great people treasure? That's question. What impact does my treasure have on my life, my purpose, and my journey to greatness? When you answer these questions sincerely and honestly, it will reveal to you the areas of life where you need to consciously reorder your treasure. You see, most times when we examine our treasures, we discover a need to reorder them. This means we discover a need to discard some of our present treasures and adopt new ones. I want to acknowledge that this is a tough process that forces you to deal with emotional and psychological issues. However, to refuse to examine your treasures is to make permanent.
It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I hope that you're all good. Of course, welcome back to Asho State Broadcasting Corporation, and this is Beyond the Surface. Of course, you're welcome back to Beyond the Surface. I am Joy Akiola. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And this beautiful morning, I am not alone. Of course, I am with my beautiful co-host, Tolulope. Hi.
Hello, good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful episode of Beyond the Surface. And of course, it's a new year, new season. Thank you so very much for joining us. And it's your favorite girl, to love God. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Today, as you know, that Beyond the Surface, we're always here to take you deeper. Absolutely. We want to go beyond the surface. We want to take you deeper. So this morning we'll be doing the same, and today we want to critically look at Instagram.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are so many changes now on Instagram that I know that some of you are like, wait, are we on TikTok or Instagram? And I mean, at the other side, you would also be
true.
like, what exactly is going on? Is this YouTube? Am I on YouTube? Am I on TikTok or Instagram? I mean, we're going to discuss those changes, but I would make sure that we'll give you some hints on the positivity of those changes. Because, of course, change is constant, and we have to accept that. So we just have to look inward. As you know, that's what we're doing on Beyond the Surface. We'll take you inward, help you to look at how you can, make use of this better. So, Tolulope, I mean, Instagram and the changes, what's up?
Honestly, it's something so annoying, especially when you are used to the old ways.
The usual.
Yes, like you're used to the way you used to do things, and before you
right?
open your app and you're seeing something else, and you're like, what's going on? Am I still on Instagram? Is it still Instagram or something? Honestly, the changes is so annoying.
Yeah.
And especially in the aspect of algorithms. The changes in the algorithm is super annoying. And as a content creator, the more the algorithm is favorable, the more you make money, the more you get visibility on social media. So the way they have been making the whole algorithm to be so difficult for people to reach you, and even as a business owners, you want to reach out to new customers every day, and the way Instagram is doing and changing everything now, it seems like
it's all saying no.
Absolutely. So it is the thing, like Joy said earlier, that change is a constant thing, and we only just have to adapt to changes. And like one of the characteristics of human being is change.
Yeah.
So I would say that is it change or adaptation now?
Of course, adaptation. As human, we have to adapt to
exactly.
whatever place we find
exactly.
ourselves.
So the thing is actually, so we just have to adapt to the new changes on Instagram. So what are the new changes on Instagram? My dear, now there's nothing like IGTV videos again.
Yeah.
They have converted all the IGTV videos into Reels. So all the videos you have on Instagram now is now converted into Reels. And what are Reels? Reels are short videos on Instagram that is being promoted organically without sponsor ads or whatever. Is being promoted. Like I feel like Instagram is now pushing out more of Reels to larger audience. Then we've always said in our previous episode that if you want to make sales on Instagram or Facebook or any social media platform, you have to make use of videos. Which is very important.
Now, you're talking about videos. I mean, so many times I have seen, people's video just pop up, and these are not celebrities. They are not anybody that is, constant on social media, but they made a video, and of course, it's popping up on different persons' pages on the Reels. So it means that you have to seize the opportunity to reduce your pictures and all, especially people in business. Since you have seen that, Reels can just pop up anywhere, why not take that opportunity and make sure that you create content, you create business content. Absolutely. Whatever you are selling, whatever service you're given, create them into videos, then you paste them, and of course Instagram is willing. You don't have to do, if you don't even have to do ads at all. Instagram is willing, to announce your Reels to the world, and you will just see popping it up on other people's pages. Because now, if you even people's pictures, sometimes I'll be like, wait, these are not, I opened my Instagram and I'm like, these are not the people I'm following. Why am I not seeing the people I am following on my page?
You know,
I am just seeing other people pop up. People I don't have it. And they are mostly videos. That's why it's annoying.
Exactly. I mean, see, there's something about seeing videos of people that you're not following. It's another changes on Instagram. And they're intentionally showing you so as to promote new content creators. So these people, like, they give you more suggested posts, like, and they are likely to send you posts that are related to some posts you've reacted to or some posts you've engaged with.
You like
exactly. So whatever you do on social media now is being recorded. So don't just go on social media and just do anything, whatever you like. There are bots that are reading your actions. They are predicting what you are doing. And they can, if they get information about everything you do on social media, they can predict your next move.
Girl, I want to say that.
They can predict your next move.
So many
guys have to be careful.
You would notice that you might just be thinking of something at a moment, and you open your Instagram or even your YouTube or even your Facebook,
and you'll be shocked.
Exactly that is popping up. Now here is the gist. In whatever you would actually think of, like oftentimes for those people that are always using their phone, you would have one way or the other searched it on Google.
Absolutely.
Or you would have liked someone that did something like that. Now all of these details, all of these things you did unconsciously or consciously has been registered. They know it. It has been stored. So they know that, okay, for example, I am Joy. They know that Joy Akiola, she always checks about fashion. She always checks about maybe food, cooking and all of that. They already see me do that maybe on Google, maybe on my Play Store.
They'll bring it out on Instagram.
So it is known. And you know that, of course, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, they have, it's one person that is handling it. So, of course, the app is for all of their pages. So they already know that I look into cooking, I look into fashion and all of that. So they are mostly going to bring everything that relates to that. Even if they are bringing in the chef I don't like, they just know that, okay, they are bringing in cooking, they are bringing in everything that relates to what I like.
It has happened to me before, Joy. I was researching about a product that was during Jumia Black Friday. So I was just checking out for some things I want to buy and all that. And the next thing I opened my Instagram, I'm seeing the same product I searched
everything you want.
Everything I want. Like, everything is just, I'm like, guys. No, you're joking right now. And it's not just funny at all.
No.
So you have to be careful of your, whatever you do on social media. You will notice, it's not me. It's not be only me that has happened to. It would have happened to many other people about you searching for something on Google and it's showing on your Facebook and Instagram, so you have to be careful. And then aside that, now Instagram has enabled this thing we call comments reaction. Now there are normally comments there. You can, when you see people's posts, you love it, you can like, you can drop a comment, I love you, you're amazing, you're beautiful. But now they have changed it into, you know, not only that you can comment, but the person you are actually appreciating can react with to your comment with a video, and it's the same thing as that of TikTok. Like they are trying to copy the trends of TikTok.
And that's what I said.
And
are we on TikTok or Instagram?
So apart from that, we also, the Instagram also have actually made it possible for the followers to actually gift their favorite content creator. Isn't that amazing?
I mean,
like, Instagram do not want to be left behind. Let me just say that. What you say? Instagram don't want to be left behind though. It wants to always like meet up, and that's actually good for business, for life generally. Whenever you see an upgrade in a system, but you refuse to upgrade yourself, you will just be left behind. So
and that's mostly, I mean, you know, we talk to business people, of course, we talk to people rendering service and all. That's just it. Now, in your area of specialization, in your industry, if you're selling clothes or you're selling food or you're selling water, whatever you're providing, there is always room for development.
Exactly.
Now, if your industry is developing and you're being static, you're saying that's how we do it. If you're doing same old, you're not going to get any results.
Absolutely.
And that's why, and to some people are like, oh, Instagram is doing copy. That's not copy. Okay?
It's an upgrade.
It's not copy.
It's
That's the
an
movement.
upgrade.
That's the movement.
That's what people are
change.
doing. That's what.
That's development. That's how you grow yourself. And that's just it. I mean, if okay, for example, let's use GSM for example. I mean, when phone came in, so Nigeria should have just said, we don't want to copy America or London. We don't want to copy them. We don't also want to be using GSM. Let's just do same mode. Then you can imagine how far we would have gone. I mean, we would have been nowhere actually. Go nowhere. But you can see that it's not, those things are not copy.
Absolutely.
They are actually development.
Exactly.
So in whatever you are doing, in whatever industry you have, whatever service you're providing, for growth, you have to improve yourself. You have to develop
let me
yourself.
say
You
this,
have
that
to learn new things.
if it's not just about say, okay, you have to learn new things, you have to upgrade. You have to, the way you upgrade is by learning.
Yeah, you have to learn.
Learn from the best. I'm sure Instagram is learning from TikTok now.
Absolutely.
To be at least to be in that upgrade level.
Yeah,
They have to learn. They have to upgrade themselves. Nobody's an island of knowledge.
Nobody.
So let's talk about trends a little bit. Like Big Brother, Titan. Big Brother is back in the face of everybody, and people have been talking about the new set of Big Brother Naija, the recent season. And there's a recent tweet about that, and that is Nelsa. I don't know if Nelsa or Nelisa. Honestly, that is kind of, I don't know what people are saying about that, but I hope that this particular TV show would be more educative rather than being what it is.
So now, for me, I'm happy about the BB Niger Titans. I mean, it's a beautiful development, bringing South Africa and Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we have things in common, even though we always say, oh, no, we are different.
Exactly.
We are not that. I mean, we are Africans, so we obviously have things in common.
Absolutely.
And of course, who knows, we'll be seeing a lot of differences and, similarities between Africans and South Africans. But I just wish that people would watch this with a good heart, please.
And I
don't
just
put pressures on people. People are
Honestly.
living their normal life.
Exactly.
The only difference is that we are not seeing you, darling. We are not seeing you on TV, whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
So don't be too harsh on them, okay?
Don't
just
be too
watch,
negative.
watch with so much love
Exactly.
and enjoy. Of
Exactly.
course, that will be all for today. I
you.
know that you enjoyed, because over here in the studio, we
Absolutely.
totally enjoyed the program. So
Absolutely.
please always tune in for our program Beyond the Surface,
Surface.
7 o'clock Monday morning, Wednesday
Wednesday.
morning, and of course on Friday. So
Absolutely.
please do always tune in to OSBC.
And
Of course.
this, we're signing out. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and YouTube. Tell us how you feel about
Please
this
tell us how you
program.
feel.
Give us your suggestion.
What you
We
want us
will
to
be
talk
reading
about.
your comments.
We
Thank
will
you so
do it.
much.
I am Joy Akinola. Thank you so
I am
much for
Tolope
joining us.
Akiyemi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
morning, viewers at home, and welcome to the guest segment on AM Cafe. And the channel is OSBC Television. We are radiating on Star Times channel 113 and Free TV on channel 502. My name is Adeyemi Aboden. It's another beautiful Monday morning, the 16th day in the month of January 2023. It's my pleasure to once again welcome you to the first edition of the program. Today we are going to look, our focus will be on issues surrounding exclusive breastfeeding. What is exclusive breastfeeding, and what are the advantages inherent in engaging in exclusive breastfeeding? Who can engage in exclusive breastfeeding? All this we are going to trash out on this morning edition of the guest segment on AM Cafe, coming to you via the channel of OSBC Television. Iliawi Kebale Oshugo. I have a guest in the house, and for the next 25-26 minutes or thereabout, we are going to look at it together. My guest today is the State Nutrition Officer in our dear state Oshun. Let me welcome Mrs. Rashidat Oluwakemi Popola, the State Nutrition Officer on board guest segment of AM Cafe this morning. You are welcome now.
Good morning, sir. I'm happy to be here too.
Yes, I'm happy to have you on the program as well. Yes. Talking about exclusive breastfeeding. What is exclusive breastfeeding? Let's start from that one.
Yeah, exclusive breastfeeding. We cannot discuss exclusive breastfeeding without discussing breastfeeding itself.
Okay.
So breastfeeding is the act of feeding a newborn across a certain stage with breast milk of a woman. That's breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding now is feeding a child with only breast milk, without water, no agbo, no other supplements, no other formula except breast milk from the age of 0 months, as soon as the child is being delivered, up to 6 months. That's what we call exclusive breastfeeding.
Then why should mothers engage in exclusive breastfeeding?
Yeah, it is very important for mothers to engage in exclusive breastfeeding because of the benefits, enormous benefits embedded in practicing exclusive breastfeeding. We have series of advantages for both the mother, the child, even for the family, and even for the community.
You can come up with those advantages.
Yeah, a child that is exclusively breastfed, the first thing is that child will be strong and healthy, because breastfeeding itself is a process which also benefits the mother. Let's discuss the benefits to the child. When a child breastfeeds well, when a child is being given exclusive breastfeeding, what it does to that child is that it prevents that child from falling sick. Yes, because the child, the milk, the breast milk of the mother is that perfect composition of nutrients that neonate or the child needs for a proper growth. Breast milk contains antibodies that prevent this child from falling sick.
The soldiers.
Yes, because it boosts the immunity of that child. And that child that is being exclusively breastfed is not being exposed to dangers, microorganisms outside. When you compare a child that is being exclusively breastfed for that period of months aforementioned, you discover that that child will not be malnourished. Why? Because, like I said, it is the perfect composition that the child needs. The child tends to eat as and when due. When the child is hungry, the child breastfeeds. The child knows when to breastfeed. And that child, even the digestion will be more easier than a child that is being fed with other substances.
Supplement.
Yes, because breast milk is easily digested and utilized in the body of any child. So for exclusive breastfeeding, when a woman practices exclusive breastfeeding, will be free from sickness. That child will not fall sick. And the money that is supposed to be used to be treating the child, or the time that will be spent to take the child to the hospital, the money will be spent on other children or other things in the house. And the woman herself also have benefiting advantages that she's getting. Number one, if a woman practices exclusive breastfeeding, there's what we call lactational amenorrhea. It delays the onset of menstruation in that woman. If actually, because studies have shown that a large amount of women would have lactational amenorrhea because they're practicing. That means it will delay the onset of another pregnancy. So there will be time for that woman to take care of the child. Another advantage to the child, to the woman now, it will prevent certain chronic diseases earlier in life, like cancer. We have breast cancer, have ovarian cancer, osteoporosis, all form of diseases that may arise. But when a woman practices exclusive breastfeeding, that woman herself will be healthy. So that means exclusive breastfeeding prevents both morbidity and mortality in the child and the mother, whereby promoting bonding. That's the benefit to both the child,
the love,
and yes, it will promote bonding between the child and the mother.
But let's talk about working mothers who, for one issue or the other, may not have the time to engage in exclusive breastfeeding of their child or children, in whatever case. What are the ways, what are the means these mothers can engage in to ensure that they continue to practice exclusive breastfeeding?
Yes, you are right, sir. We have cases like that. When we have mothers that are working and do not have time, they can express the breast milk. Because actually, if you express breast milk and keep, it can stay for hours, for 24 hours. Yes. So, and I don't think a working mother would leave a child for 24 hours. So the mother should try and express milk. We have other cases too, sir. We have cases of a woman that died after delivery. It will amaze you to think of who is going to breastfeed this child. Instead of buying breast milk substitute, there's what we call wet nurse. Or if you have anybody in the family that is also breastfeeding at that particular time, it is advisable that that neonate be given to that wet mother that is breastfeeding. That is to show you how important the breast milk is.
Can a child take, be fed with breast milk from another mother who are not, blood relations?
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you, sir. Because it is important that the child feed on breast milk only, because that's the perfect food. It has the perfect composition whereby the child grows properly. Brain development, the bone development, even the eye development. Breast milk contains all perfect nutrients that the baby requires. And breast milk will prevent diarrhea and respiratory tract infection. Those are the two top childhood illnesses that contribute to child mortality in Nigeria. So we should do everything possible to avoid other substance being given to that child, especially at that exclusive breastfeeding stage.
Well, if you are just joining us on the program, it is AM Cafe, and my guest this morning is Mrs. Rashidat Oluwakemi-Popo-Ola, the State Nutrition Officer of Osun State. We have been focusing on the advantages of exclusive breastfeeding and why lactating mothers should engage in the practice of exclusive breastfeeding. Yes, talking about some mothers, so to say, who may want to prevent their breast from become sagging. So they don't usually engage in breastfeeding their children. How do you see this situation? So many mothers these days, run away from their responsibilities of breastfeeding their children.
Well,
how do we situate this?
I would pass this information today. You are doing yourself a whole lot of damage. Havoc, thank you. Because you may think you are depriving that child, but you are actually causing illness into that body system. Why? If you deliver and you do not want to breastfeed because your breast is going to sag or whatever, you are prone to certain illnesses. Like I mentioned earlier, if a woman delivers and refuses to breastfeed a child for no reason, that person is prone to having breast cancer later in life, cervical cancer. Then another damage is that, havoc is that there will be no bonding between the child and the mother. And when there's no bonding, there will be no bonding. And when there is no bonding, how will that child be affectionate to the mother? And later in future, we have certain cases whereby you have those dogs outside, because there's no bonding. There's no how there will be love between the mother and the child. And for the child you are neglecting, you are exposing that child to childhood illnesses like diarrhea and respiratory tract infection, and also malnutrition, also chronic diseases later in life. And if a child is being fed with other substances like other breast milk substitute, that child is prone to having respiratory tract infection in future. You have the ear, nose, and throat infection, which is confirmed for those children that are being fed with breast milk substitute. I don't want to start mentioning names.
Yeah.
So if you think of the advantages being embedded in practicing exclusive breastfeeding, even breastfeeding that child up to 2 years, there are a whole lot of benefits there. So please do not say because of your breast is going to sag, one day you will get old, and these children will be there for you to take care of you.
Mrs. Fukuola, I've been watching and listening to programs on exclusive breastfeeding, the advantages in exclusive breastfeeding for quite a while. Been promoted, been advocated by government agencies. Do we have, a policy that makes practice of exclusive breastfeeding, that policy in place, not only in Osun State, but I mean in Nigeria generally, that promote exclusive breastfeeding?
Yes, sir. You are right, sir. We have a national policy on exclusive breastfeeding, whereby when a woman delivers, that woman practices early initiation. That's what we call early initiation. The policy have all of these stages in it. We have early initiation, whereby a child is being given, is being taken to the breast milk. The child is being breastfed even before 1 hour after birth. That's the first stage. And you have a whole lot of advantages attached to early initiation, because when a woman does that early initiation, the child is able to get the first milk, that is the colostrum, that is being gotten from the breast milk, which prevents diseases. That's the first immunization the baby gets. Okay. And that early initiation will assist in the injection of the placenta from the mother, thereby preventing postpartum hemorrhage after delivery. A whole lot of advantage. And after that, the woman is ready to continue breastfeeding exclusively for the first 6 months. And after 6 months, although the woman continues breastfeeding, but additional food, complementary food, is being needed for the baby to get the required calorie that is required of that child to grow, because we all know as at 6 months the child will have started sitting, crawling, so therefore the baby needs more energy to do this. And it is being said in the policy that the woman should continue breastfeeding up to 2 years. So there is policy in place for breastfeeding and exclusive breastfeeding.
We know there's a policy in place, but how effective are these policies? Are they on papers, on pages of papers alone? How effective are they?
They are effective.
How implementable are they?
They are effective, and we are implementing programs towards the promotion and protection of exclusive breastfeeding, especially in Osun State here. We've held series of programs. Now, sir, for this for the mix, we have surveys that analyzes the rate at which all these programs are being done. We have the multiple indicator cluster survey. That's mix. For this year, mix 2022 says for exclusive breastfeeding in Osun, we have 61.1%. Yes, our people in Osun, we are really trying in that area, and we are the highest in the southwest as at today.
61.
Yes, according to mix 2021-2022 mix. So we have 61.1%. That means we are doing well, even more than the national. So we have partners that have been supporting exclusive breastfeeding and other nutrition programs in the states, like the UNICEF, like Federal Ministry of Health, National Primary Health Care Board. Everybody, all hands are on deck to see that exclusive breastfeeding is being promoted, and that is why yearly there's what we call Breastfeeding Week. We celebrate that yearly. That is to tell you how important breastfeeding is.
When are you going to celebrate this year?
That will be August. It's always the first week of August because it's a national program.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we're talking about implementation and effectiveness of these practices of exclusive breastfeeding. You said in Osun State there are 61.1% implementation level. But if you break it down to location where this thing are implemented, can we look at it between cities? Like we have urban areas and rural areas. Where are these things commonly practices? If you look at it from those two perspectives, rural and urban areas.
Okay, let me first of all clarify something. The 61.1% is the rate at which Osun women breastfeed exclusively.
I know.
So now the implementation cuts across all aspects of Osun State. Like we are in the State Primary Health Care Board, dealing with the grassroots. So all aspects, all areas, both urban and rural. In fact, if you notice in most of the facilities, you will see a signage whereby you see practice exclusive breastfeeding. The information is everywhere, and we do all our possible best to promote exclusive breastfeeding through media, sensitization of health workers, sensitization of market women, religious, even men. Like the last breastfeeding week we had, we sensitized over 50 men alongside with grandmothers and lactating mothers too. So we cut across.
Well, I watch a program on one of these foreign TV stations where in that country I will not mention, but they have what we call breast bank, where mothers who don't have the time, or I learned some mothers will suffer a situation where milk will not come out from their breast. From their breast. In that situation, they approach the breast bank to get those who have excessive breast milk and donate to this breast bank. Do you have that kind of situation in the country?
Well, there's nothing bad in it, because if you take the breast milk of a mad woman, let me use that as an example, and that of the richest woman on earth, the composition is the same thing.
Same thing.
Yes, but in Nigeria we have some factors hindering our understanding about breast milk, because we have cultural belief, we have religious belief, whereby it is being said that, okay, if this person is not your family, cannot breastfeed that child, you know. So because of the religious constraints and some cultural beliefs, we have not gotten there in Nigeria here, but we'll soon get there, because breast milk is the only milk that can save the life of the child.
In your advocacy, are this part of your advocacy to remove, to disabuse mind of mothers about religion and cultural beliefs in attached to breastfeeding from mothers who are not, for babies who are not from that from other mothers?
Yeah, that's the activity. It's part of the activities being carried on, because we have different norms. That's just only one. We have so many norms, whereby you just discover a woman will say, no, I cannot just breastfeed this and that. So we have programs and we address such issues, because when we organize program, is always is like a discussion.
Yes.
Because we have adults, so people come out and say their mind, and we disabuse such norms, and at the end of the day they see that this is beneficial to them even more than what they felt they got from their grandparents.
But what are the challenges you people, nutritionists, faces in the course of educating, advocating, enlightening people on the advantages of engaging in practice of exclusive breastfeeding?
Yeah, we have some barriers, because like you said earlier, some mothers after delivering, the breast milk refuses to come, maybe due to stress and other. So and in Osun State we are lucky, we have trained nurses, we have trained health workers that take delivery. We have them. They know how to tackle such situation. And we have some programs that during antenatal, the health workers would encourage the pregnant to prepare their mind towards practicing exclusive breastfeeding when and after they deliver. Because it's actually during the delivery that the breastfeeding starts.
For those who are not attending antenatal, how do you get this message across to them?
For those that are not attending antenatal, well, like this is a platform for some of them to get it. But if you are there outside listening to us, please, all pregnant women should go to the hospital for proper care. I think that's the best for them. And if there's another forum, like I said, sometimes on a personal note now, I go to religious places to advocate for exclusive breastfeeding. Like sometimes I go to church, sometimes I go to some Muslim asalatu to tell them this is it. And whenever there's a gathering, I normally use that opportunity to also sensitize, yes, even in the market. So at least the person that is hearing me now is also an exclusive breastfeeding advocate, so that you advocate for exclusive breastfeeding anywhere you find.
Before we go on the program, this is Okuola, for the benefit of those who are watching and are local speakers of our language. Let's take one or two questions in Yoruba. Akinka Bosore to Lekasi, Arabiri Roshida to look at Okuola. Ètò tá ń wò láàárọ̀ ni funfun ọmọ ní ọyàn lásán ní oṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ tí ọmọ bá ti wáyé. Kí láǹfààní tó wà nínú funfun ọmọ lọ́yàn?
Àkọ́kọ́ tó wà ńbẹ̀ ni pé ọmọ yín tó bá mu ọyàn nìkan kò ní ṣàárẹ̀. Èyí tẹ́ jẹ́ ìyá ẹ̀ náà ẹ̀ ní ṣàárẹ̀. Ọmọ yìí yóò dàgbà bó ṣe yẹ kó dàgbà, ojú rẹ̀ ó ríran kedere, ọpọlọ rẹ̀ ó jí pépé. Owó tó yẹ ká ẹ fi máa lọ ìtọ́jú ìgbẹ́ gbuuru àbí àwọn àìsàn tó lè ti ara pé ẹ fọ́mọ ní nǹkan míì kò ní sí yẹn. Ìfẹ́ ó sì wà láàrin ẹ̀yin àti ọmọ tí ẹ gbé dání yìí. Ìyá ó wà ní ìlera pípé, gbogbo ohun tí ń járùn kánsà nǹkan kò ní ṣèyá. Lẹ́yìn náà tẹ́ bá fún ọmọ lọ́yàn dáadáa, ẹ lè mọ̀ ní di family planning torí pé tá a bá kóbìnrin mẹ́wàá jọ èyí tó bá ṣe exclusive breastfeeding ó kéré jù nínú wọn 8 kò ní rí nǹkan oṣù rẹ̀ léyìí tó túmọ̀ sí pé fífọ́mọ lọ́yàn ó ní àǹfààní tó pọ̀ nínú. Thank you.
Well, kí wá ní àwọn ìpèníjà tó wà nídìí pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń polongo láti rí i pé àwọn ìyálọ́mọ ń fọmọ lọ́yàn kí làwọn ìpèníjà kí sì ni mọ̀ràn yín àfikásẹ̀
ẹ ṣeun ìpèníjà tá a ní ni pé ẹ̀yin ìyálọ́mọ wa àǹfààní wà tó pọ̀ nínú àwọn ó jẹ́ kó máa dùn wá tá a bá rí ẹni tí ó tún ń ra àwọn oúnjẹ inú agolo fún ọmọ nítorí pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí ẹ̀ ń fún ní àwọn oúnjẹ agolo yìí ní ààyè kan àbí kejì àwọn ọmọ yìí ìfún wọn ò tí ì gbó láti lè pé kí oúnjẹ yẹn ò lè dà nínú wọn níta ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe fún wọn ni pé ẹ̀ ń fún wọn ní àwọn ìwọ̀n ọmọ yẹn ó ti gbé wọn ju bó ṣe yẹ kó gbọ́n torí nígbà tébi ò pa lẹ̀ ń fún àwọn ọmọ yìí lóúnjẹ nígbà tó bá yá àwọn ọmọ yìí wọ́n mọ ya ìgbẹ́ gbuuru wọ́n tún wá padà sí malnutrition tó jẹ́ pé ńgbà tó bá di ẹ̀yìn oṣù 6 ọmọ yìí ìwọ̀n rẹ̀ ó tún ti kéré sí ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi àkókò yìí sọ fún wa pé a ní àwọn oúnjẹ tí a fi ń tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ tí ò gbé wọn láti ọmọ oṣù 6 sí ọmọ ọdún 5 tí a bá ríru wọn ní àyíká wa ẹ jẹ́ ká ní kí wọ́n kàn lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé wa káàkiri gbogbo Ọ̀ṣun tàbí kí ẹ pe nọ́mbà mi láti lè jẹ́ kí n tọ́ yín sọ́nà láti tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ torí pé àfẹ́ ikú ọmọ ní rèwerèwe ní Ọ̀ṣun ẹ jẹ́ ká fáwọn ọmọ wa lọ́yàn bó ṣe yẹ ká fún wọn àǹfààní wà fún ìyá ó wà fún ọmọ ó wà fún bàbá gan bàbá náà ó sùn dáadáa sà ọmọ tá a fún lọ́yàn dáadáa kò ní díwọ́ oorun bàbá ní agbègbè ọmọ tí a bá fún ní ọyàn a nílò láti máa lọ ra agolo oúnjẹ tí ẹ pé a lọ jù sí ibi tó wù wá ní community wa tí ẹ pé ńgbà tójò bá rọ̀ ibẹ̀ náà ni ó wà ẹ̀fọn náà ó tún ṣe kíni yóò tún jáde níbẹ̀ ọmọ tá a dẹ̀ fún lọ́yàn dáadáa kódà yóò dàgbà tó bó ṣe yẹ kó dàgbà tó bá dọjọ́ iwájú gbogbo iṣẹ́ ni ó lè ṣe.
bóyá kẹ́ ẹ fi nọ́mbà yín síta fún àwọn èèyàn wọ́n lè mọ̀ irú àwọn ìṣẹ̀yẹ náà àwọn náà lè kọ́ wọ́n lè mọ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
Okay 07068413202.
ẹ pè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
07068413202.
Well, we want to appreciate Mrs. Rashidat Oluwafemi Opola, the State Nutrition Officer, for finding time to appear on the AM Cafe Adjustment segment this morning to educate our lactating mothers on the advantages derivable in practicing exclusive breastfeeding for their children. She has disclosed multiple advantages, merits derivable, and we hope lactating mothers will continue to increase in numbers in terms of those who practices exclusive breastfeeding. We already have 61.1%, and we hope will grow to around 100%. 100% is it not achievable?
Yeah, it is achievable. It is achievable.
It is achievable, and we hope we will achieve that. We want to appreciate you, Mrs. Oluwakemi Rashidat Opola, for finding time to appear on the program. On behalf of the executive producer of the program, Nason Oyebayo, and the producer, Shola Oguleye, my name is Adeyemi Abode. I want to thank you for trying as much as possible to listen. And AM Cafe continues. We thank you for being here.